The one prospect that I haven't really been talking about has been Jonah Gadjovich. And Gadjovich is one of those guys who I feel isn't really getting as much hype as he should be. I mean, look at me, I haven't made a video about this guy at all. I've been talking about everybody else, Goldobin, Lind, Dahlin, even Petrus Palmu, his line mate at the Owen Sound Attack previously. But not Jonah Gadjovich. I've mentioned him a few times here and there, but I feel like it's really time to start talking about Gadjovich, because if there's anybody from the 2017 draft class that is close to making the NHL, it's probably either Pettersson or Gadjovich. The first one that will make the NHL out of this draft class, it could be one of the two, but I would not be surprised if it was Jonah Gadjovich. And that's just a testament to just what kind of player he is. He was drafted 55th overall in the second round, and the type of player he is a big body. He's a guy who could dig in, grind for pucks. He's a bloodhound, he's described as, when he's away from the puck, and he's fierce. He's a monster out there on the ice. He's not out there getting 100-point seasons in the OHL. Nah, his last season he got 74 points in 60 games. Still, that's over a point per game. Playing with Finnish winger Petrus Palmu, that's pretty good. But his presence on a team isn't identified with his goal scoring. It's not identified with the amount of points he gets. Instead, he's making an impact on teams by being a rough and tough two-way guy. And this is almost the same thing as a Bo Horvat, because we drafted Bo to be a two-way monster, the guy who could put up points at one end and then back up in the defensive end and prevent a good play by the other team. Gadjovich is almost the same player, but he's more gritty. He's more of a rough player, and he's able to move himself and use his big body to get what he wants on the ice. He's 6'2", 209 pounds at 19 years of age, so playing in the OHL, he's a big body, and he's one of those guys who's already built for the NHL or the AHL, whichever one he gets sent to first. And it's not even that I'm trying to take a hit at his offensive production. I mean, 74 points in 60 games, that's pretty darn good, especially for an 18-year-old. But even this season, Gadjovich is at a stellar 25 points in 19 games. Okay, that's just over a point per game. What's so special about that? Well, Gadjovich has a shot in every game that he's played, with a peak of 13 shots in the most previous game. He's averaging 5.37 shots on goal per game, which is second in the OHL. That is really darn good. If we got a guy on our team who's 6'2", he's 209 pounds, he's a big body, he's rough and tough, he's grinding away at the puck along the boards, he's able to free the puck up for his wingers, he's using his big body to move, power forward moves to the front of the net, and he's also able to prevent offensive chances for the other team, and this guy is getting 5 shots a night? Sign me up. I want to be on this hype train for Gadjovich, because Gadjovich is an absolute monster of a player. Not necessarily the most offensively gifted, talented franchise player available, but he does everything else right, and that reflects in his ability to make points and plays. Because you don't just get 5 shots a game for just standing there and waiting for your teammates to pass the puck to you. In order to get that amount of shots per game, you need to be the one who's able to make plays. And Jonah Gadjovich is one of those players who is able to make plays. Keep in mind, he was drafted in the second round. That's still fairly high. That's within the top 60, the top 62 of all of the players in the draft. He is definitely a talent who can, and in my opinion, definitely will make the NHL. Whether it's for the Canucks or for another team, Gadjovich is most likely the split between this draft class in who's going to make the NHL first. It's either going to be Pettersson or it's going to be Gadjovich. In my opinion, Gadjovich provides an impact to the Canucks quicker than Pettersson. Gadjovich might step into the Canucks as a 4th line or 3rd line winger because physically he's definitely ready. He's got the body for it. And It's just a matter of honing all the skills that he's got into making an NHL player, because he's got skill. He can put up points. He definitely could be scoring at a greater pace, but the fact that he's able to do literally everything else on the ice makes up for that tremendously. I'd be fine with having Gadjovich step into the league as long as he's ready. So all that's left to wait for is his skill, because his body is there. His mentality, it's most likely there, considering that he's able to dominate the OHL physically. And the only thing we need to wait for is his offensive productions to be where the Canucks management wants him to be. And with the opportunities he's getting, Bob McKenzie predicted Gadjovich as a lock for Team Canada's World Junior team this year. With all of these opportunities, he has the A for the Owen Sound attack. Jonah Gadjovich has the potential to be one of the most influential players on the Canucks in the future. I'm not saying that he's going to be the next franchise goal scorer for the Canucks, but I will say that he has the potential to be one of the best aggravators in the league. Because this guy's such a good, gritty player that he's going to be able to get under the skin of whoever he plays against. And if this guy keeps his head on straight and he's able to maintain a strong mental image of the players around him and himself, he could be one of the most intimidating guys to play against. And he's only 6'2". He plays like this at 19 years of age in the OHL with this kind of a body. It's not a foreign thought to think that this guy can be an impact player in the NHL. And I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing Jonah Gadjovich making the AHL, developing with whoever the coach is now, building up his game there, and then stepping in to the Vancouver Canucks roster. And I'm going to be honest, I see it happening fairly quickly, because Gadjovich is an impact player, and he's got a suitable body to play in the National Hockey League. He's got that work ethic, and he's got that mentality. So Jonah Gadjovich might be one of the strongest players that was drafted by the Canucks in this 2017 draft. I know I say that about a lot of draft picks, but this guy is kind of special. He's very special in that he will make an impact. So all that's left to do is just to wait a few years. And keep in mind, we still have the opportunity to watch this guy on the grand stage playing at the World Juniors, because Bob McKenzie says that he's a lock. And if Bob McKenzie says anything, it's probably true. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. For Plus, Natural Trolls like Not Grassland Gaming, and bye.